months ago about our water rates, and the note that was provided to the city manager to Savannah was that we would be incurring a 20 to 25% increase. After that notification, without any backup to it, I think I mentioned in council that I thought that not only should it not go up 20 to 25%, it shouldn't even stay at zero. It should go down because of what I perceive as a tremendous surplus and tremendous overbilling. To that end, I've asked for and received their August financial information, and that's what I kind of compiled it down to the 2 pages. So page 1 is all budget. Page 2, the very top, is partly budget. The bottom is their surpluses, and I'm going to go through this quickly. I've noted things, B1 for budget, B1 through whatever, B10, something like that, and surplus S1 through S3. I've provided the notes. If anybody wants to call or get it right on Facebook or anywhere else, feel free to do that. Call it out, call me, or filter it through the city manager. If there's questions, if I've calculated something wrong, I know one thing right now that I would add to this, but let's get into it so we can move on. And I'm doing this because the water district is a special district. They are not a business. They operate more like a nonprofit. They are a monopolistic. They're a monopoly that operates with 2 customers. And those 2 customers are their 2 shareholders, and that is the City of Granger and the City of Eastland. So profit and loss and risk, all of that is borne on the 2 cities. The water district, in my opinion, does not have a risk that the cities don't cover financially. They make a mistake, the 2 cities will have to cover it. They make money, the 2 cities should be offset accordingly. And we are the 2 shareholders, and we are the 2 customers. There are some other nuances to that, but 90-95% of that is the 2 cities. So we have, I think, a duty and a responsibility both to our citizens and water and cost of that has gone on for so long, unaddressed or without the detail that I feel compelled to do this. So let me go through this real quick. The budget report says it's titled Budget Performance, and I have a B1 next to it, but it's not quite clear if it is an overall budget or specifically the operational budget. Since it does not include all revenue and debt issues, it appears that it is a partial operational budget performance. Partial because it does not include the complete operational budget, and it also includes debt revenue, but not debt expenses. And I'm going to take a little side deal here. The water district works off 2 things: debt, the bonds that we guarantee, and debt that we approve, the cities approve, and on water sales. That is the 2 things that are allowed by contract and our operating contract today. Second paragraph, a quick review of the bottom line of the 2, if you go down on page 1, does not yield a usable evaluation. And that is because with a year-to-date net ordinary income of $709,000, it would appear that the district is on a path to over $1 million of net income. This misrepresents the performance due to the $394,797 in debt income, going back up to D5, lines 4070 to 4080. Yet does not include the debt expense. So they've included debt revenue, but they have not expensed out. So it shows more money than really is there as far as income. The water sales budget, B3, let me find my B3 here, apologies. Okay, B3 the budget says it's $1,695,000, and that is, if you turn the page, the budget, you'll see the 2023 budget is at the top is $1,695,000. There we go, right? $1,695,000. That's correct. And so the sales budget or the income budget is correct. However, the expense budget B4 further down is short by $255,000, and that $255,000 includes First Financial bank loans, the membrane reserves, and unbudgeted reserves. So I would say the $1,447,000 is the correct expense budget, since these expenses are not operational. So debt is not an operational budget, and they're not allowed by contract. So the correct budget, expense budget, in my opinion, is the $1,447,000. Line items 4010 through 4060, which is my note B6, is $112,504, are not budgeted. It should also be noted that these items are supposed to offset the city's cost according to the contract. So any monies they bring in and other revenue issues is supposed to offset what they bill the cities, and our billings therefore should be reduced accordingly, but that's not what's been happening. It appears that the district just adds this revenue to the ever-increasing surplus. So if I if I remove the debt income, B7, and up at the bottom you'll see a few little brackets down there, the true total income is $1,278,376 or 377, and indeed is not $1,673,000. Other than the missing budgeted items of $255,000 I mentioned earlier, the interest expense, B8, which is line item 6224 of $141,000, should be deducted because it is also not an operational expense. So the correct adjusted total expense is $822,000, and the correct net ordinary income is $455,000. That, in my looking at this, the correct net ordinary income is the surplus that they are gaining on the year. And since that surplus of $455,000 only represents 8 months of the 12 months of the fiscal year, then it's simple enough to project that on a straight line basis that it would be nothing more than dividing by 8 to get a monthly rate and multiplying by 12. So multiplied by 1.5, and year-end surplus this year would be $683,000. Or an additional, from this point, another $277,000. This represents 47% of the current budget. So this surplus of $683,000 divided by the $1,447,000, because that subtracts the debt issues, is 47%. So their surplus in our budget is 47%. And so I'll continue. So surplus, let's go to the next page. I brought this up before, discussed this in the meeting, I don't know when it was, June, July, whatever it was. So let me first say the term reserve is not defined in the contract, nor does it occur in the contract. The total current assets, you'll see that line S1, 7,454,000, those appear to be all liquid assets. Of this, 5,089,609, the highlighted items, represents current bonds and associated restricted assets. So those cannot be touched. They are for particular purposes. One day I'll talk about 2 million of those from the 2012 bonds that have not been used and we're still paying interest on, and we're paying debt on for something that's not being used for the last 11 years, but I'm going to cover that tonight. This leaves a remainder of $2,365,264 in surplus funds. Add to this the projected additional surplus of $227,852, and the accumulated year-end surplus will be $2,593,116. So with the continued over-budgeting and acquired debt without the city approval and the significant surplus, I renew my previous recommendation that the water rate should not increase, but rather be decreased by 50%. Now, I told you earlier I did leave one thing out, and it was not intentional. It's at the bottom. If you get their minutes or their financials, the bottom of their financials, I don't have it on here, but it's $39,000 of, hang on, let me think about it, of payable, what do you call it? Debts payable. So we have income that I included. Receivable. So I've included water sales receivable of $339,000. You'll see that on line 1201. I did not include the $39,000 of debts payable. So of the $2,593,000, I may be overlooking at $39,000. So maybe it's only $2,550,000 of surplus. So with that, I renew my request, my hope, as they go through their budgeting, their fiscal years, January through December, I hope they are listening. I'm sure I'll have comments. I hope to have those comments, but more so, I hope the citizens in the city gets a break and gets our water rates back where they should be, and that we get more communication. It should be with our city manager on what is happening, what debts we have, what are we incurring, what are the risks that we are incurring that we're not aware of right now, because it seems to be continuing to go on, and while we're doing drought, it would be even more important or more appropriate for us to know some of these other issues. Anyway.
Okay, let's go to item number 7, discuss, consider approval of the annual renewal of Eastern County City of Rainsford Cooperative Dispatch Interlock Agreement.
Okay, so this is renewed every year. The county does this for each team within the county. Ranger's percentage is 8.01%, so our fee is $42,036.65, and that is the same as last year. So it's just the dispatch agreement, and it's in your packet for your review.
Do I have a motion to approve this?
I move to approve.
Okay, do I have any questions? Comments? We've had a second?
I'll make a second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ma'am?
Do you abstain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sam.
Employment purposes. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You go to the next one.
Okay, let's go to item 8, discuss and consider approval of the annual renewal for the Eastern County City of Ranger Cooperative Ambulance Service Contract.
Okay, so this is an agreement with the county that we will supply EMS services using our EMS department at Zero Fox. They actually went up on their payment to us, their subsidy. It used to be $21,000, and it's paid quarterly, but now it's $28,500 paid quarterly. So that's,
Do I have a motion to approve this annual renewal for Eastern County Cooperative Ambulance Service Contract?
Well, I'll make that motion. Does Cyril have any comments?
No, I'm just here listening.
motion, I'll take one.
You think?
Okay, all right.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have any questions or comments? Do I have a second motion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Okay. Agenda 9, discuss, consider approval to waive fees at the collection station for residential customers with an active utility bill on Saturday, October 14th, 2023.
Okay, so this is the same day as Day of Champions. In previous years, we've always waived the fee at the collection station so that you could utilize the Day of Champions dumpsters that the city provides, or you could go out to the dump if those are full. So it's just asking that that day be a free dump day this coming Saturday for residents with utility bills.
Do I have a motion to approve, waive this fee?
Move to approve it.
Okay, do I have any questions or comments? Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
Could I tag in, I think you said that they can deliver to any location, whether they're here at the old high school or down,
Correct.
it's open both.
Either of those are available for use. You can go back there.
Okay, we're going to go to item agenda 15. Discuss and consider convening the executive session pursuant to section 551.071, Texas Government Code, and section 1.05, disciplinary rules of professional conduct, to consult with legal counsel regarding Eastern County Water Supply District contracts, meetings, and election purposes.
It's 5:58.